Hello everyone and welcome to today. We'll go through AI agents in action. All right, so before we start, I would like to set what's our goal of today's session. So we would like you to, after you've gone through here, to know, okay, what are the AI agent, and I want to give you the opportunity to help you identify which agentic use cases you can actually use and give you some inspiration. We'll talk through ServiceNow's AI agents, and we'll also go through some customer ones. So as mentioned, we'll do a short intro, also look at what are AI agents. We'll focus on CRM AI agent today, just to give some context, to not make it too broad. And because of that, I have with my Maria from ServiceNow.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maria, and I am CRM Advisory Solution Consultant, working primarily with our CRM areas, which is sales and order management, customer service management, and field service management.
And she will go through all the agentic use cases inside of ServiceNow, go through the other box, and we're going to show some demos of that. And then after that, I'll go through some use cases we have seen out in the field. And for those who don't know me, I'm Sondre Pedersen. I work here at the Cloud People as solution architect, focusing on AI and user experiences. So, right, Maria, would you be so nice to take us through what are CRM in ServiceNow and some of the agentic use cases?
Yes, sure. So first of all, we wanted to set a little bit the context of what we will be talking today. And in context of CRM, there are a couple of major areas that we want you guys to succeed. So first, we want you to focus on your customers when you have in mind all the business processes and when you think about doing something with AI. We also want your agents that are working towards your customers to free up some time for really tangible actions and really tangible tasks that no agentic AI can solve. Whereas all the things that agents can solve for them, they can autonomously work with some help of those human agents. And as a result, we want your companies to succeed and to accelerate your revenue and save a lot of money on all those processes. So that is what we call autonomous CRM at ServiceNow. And we want you to lead all those conversations and lead your customers to complete satisfaction. So what is super important? Sorry. Can I get the next slide, please? Thank you. So what is super important to understand that in context of CRM, there are multiple areas where we can have our focus on. And this topic is super broad. So you can think about working with leads and opportunities. What can you do there? What kind of automation can you have? And what kind of AI agents can you possibly implement? You can look into the CPQ area, configure, price, and quote, where you can also accelerate the product building, go into self-service possibilities, and also a lot of different AI agents can help you in that area. Also, the order fulfillment area, very specifically when you think about what happens after the order is placed. There are a lot of different areas where AI agents can be super important. Customer service, that's one of the major areas where ServiceNow has been at the forefront for many, many years. And there are so many things that you can also do with agentic AI there. Not to forget about field service management, where you need to send people to solve some of the tasks at the exact places physically. This is also the area where ServiceNow is delivering a lot of different AI agents to help automate some of the tasks and save a lot of time for the field service agents. And last but not least, customer success and renewals. This is also the area which takes a lot of time from both your people working and also from different teams that are involved in the process. There are a lot of possibilities there as well, where you can think about agentic use cases. So setting a little bit in the context where CRM sits on the platform, I know that the majority of you already have experience with ServiceNow, but maybe not with CRM specifically. So in this specific year, we have introduced a so-called AI control tower for business reinvention. What that basically means that we are combining all the areas where ServiceNow is strong, starting from IT to employee experience, app development, and last but not least, CRM space. You know that ServiceNow has always been at the forefront of workflows. So we have usually all the data that is relevant to start with AI. We also focus a lot on security because it's super important when we talk about AI and specifically agentic AI. So if you are familiar with AI yourself, it's super important to think about guardrails, to think about the data not leaving to the public and not leaking some very important and sensitive information to the public. And on top, we have introduced AI. Started from the generative, going over to agentic. So we are touching upon all the workflows that we see here. And just for today's webinar, we decided to focus on the CRM use cases to address it a little bit in more detail. Also, one super important thing to mention here, I don't know how many of you have actually already heard about our new licensing model that we have introduced last week. And what it means for all of you is basically everything you get from ServiceNow as of today will have agentic AI included. So you don't need to think about when do we start with the agentic AI or what are we going to do with it. So the time is now to think about what are the use cases you want to address in your business. So going a little bit deeper into the conversation of CRM and the areas that we address there, here we have listed a couple of major use cases in every single area to maybe start thinking about agentic AI in the first place. So when we talk about AI for sales, so some of you know it's a sales and order management. You can think about AI agents that will help you nurture sales leads, for example. In customer service, triaging cases has been super popular among our customers, where AI agents are helping to solve some of the specific cases that are coming your way. And field service, where you can, for example, create work orders with the help of agentic AI. And there you can use, for example, voice, or you can type as a text, and the work order will be automatically created on your behalf. So these are the major use cases that we have seen a lot of customers already start implementing in their businesses and getting value from them. So here you can see some of the most popular agentic use cases, starting from triage casing, going over to providing customer 360 insights, optimizing CSAT core, onboarding and coaching live agents, and managing major cases. And this is just to name a few. The list is much longer than you can see here. And you can identify your own use cases and also build your own agents on top of what we are shipping out of the box. Also, in the area of sales and order management, on top of nurturing sales leads, you can also work with automating return orders. You can also work with quoting and configurations, and also with streamlining renewals. And this is, again, just to name a few of what you can do. And if you are specifically interested in the field service management or customer success management, you can also see what is currently available in those areas as well. So one more step before I head over to Sondre to go a little bit deeper on the technical details and industry use cases. I just wanted to briefly introduce you to how technically we execute all our AI agents on ServiceNow platform. And this is not only relevant for CRM use cases, this is relevant across the platform. So you usually have the agentic workflow that starts with the why. So you are identifying what you are trying to solve and trying to achieve with the use of AI agents. Then you go over to the AI agent orchestrator that basically creates a plan where what kind of sub-agents will be executing what type of specific tasks. Then you go to the ServiceNow AI agents, and here you can build multiple of them, and you can reuse them as well. And below that, you have different tools that are available for you to execute those actions and those agents to be successful in solving those problems that you want. Again, Sondre will talk a little bit more about some of those areas to get you familiar with them. And now I just wanted to go and show you some of the use cases that we have identified in ServiceNow as the very important ones for our customers, where the majority of our customers are getting started. So the first use case is in the workspace of CSM FSM workspace, which maybe some of you are familiar with, but you definitely know this view from ServiceNow perspective. So we now are in the agent workspace where we are having a list of different cases, and we are asking our agentic AI to help us triage the case. So on the right-hand side, you see the panel of Now Assist, where we will ask Now Assist to create a plan for us. And basically, at this point, when we are working on such cases, it's up to you to decide how much of human in the loop you want to have while solving those cases. Basically, it can go automatically, and it can execute, plan, and act and close the case on your behalf without any human touch. Alternatively, as in this example, you can sanity check with a human agent. You can go through some of the approvals of the plan, for example. You can accept and say sure to proceed with some of the actions. You are okay, this case, with the executing, and you think that the plan that was created and further communication is absolutely fine. And then there are a lot of different things that you can do, but usually in this regards, the AI agent is asking if it's okay to proceed with certain tasks and certain activities that it wants to perform. So we would be very nice today as an agent, a human agent, and we'll say, okay, yeah, we really like it. And at the end, the case will be closed with some of the resolution notes that will be placed on that case for further analytics, for example, or reporting purposes. So this is one of the examples how case triaging can work. And so you have seen we have executed, we have created a plan with the help of agentic AI. Then with some human touch and some human guidance in between, we have solved this case and we have closed it. And we barely spent maybe 1 minute for that. So that is how you can actually save time for your agents, make your customers really happy because they are getting their replies and their cases solved really fast. And you can increase the customer satisfaction at the end. Another example, maybe some of you have heard about the fact that ServiceNow has introduced voice AI agents. So we are just willing to give you an example of how at customer forefront, voice AI agents can solve the issues for you instead of human agents trying to solve it and do it on their own.
Hey there, John here from Electri Support, your AI voice assistant for customer support. How may I help you?
Hi, my name is Julie Lewis. I noticed I was overcharged on my monthly bill last month.
Sure. Before we continue, can you please enter your 4-digit soft PIN for security authentication? Thank you for verifying your identity, Julie. I'm sorry to hear about that billing issue. Let me help you with this right away. Could you please tell me what amount should you have been charged?
I should have been charged $100.
Got it, $100. And how much were you actually charged on your bill?
I was charged $200.
I see. So you should have been charged $100 but were charged $200. That means an overcharge of $100. I sincerely apologize for this inconvenience, Julie. I have identified this was due to a system error on our side where a previous credit adjustment wasn't properly applied. Let me create a billing dispute case for you right away. I've created billing case number bill 00248991 for your dispute. Now, I'd like to offer you two resolution options. Would you prefer A full refund of $100 to your original payment method, or B, a bill credit of $100 applied to your next bill?
I'll take the refund, please.
Excellent choice, Julie. I'm initiating the refund process now and updating your case with the details. I've processed your refund of $100 to your Visa ending in 4892. The refund will be processed within 5 to 7 business days. I've also added a $10 loyalty credit to your account as a token of our appreciation. Let me send you a confirmation email. A confirmation email has been sent to your registered email address. If you don't see the refund processed within 7 business days, please contact us again and mention case number bill 00248991. Is there anything else I can help you with today, Julie?
No, that's all. Thank you so much for your help.
You're very welcome, Julie. Thank you for being a valued Electri customer. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Yes. So this was an example of how voice AI agents can solve cases on your behalf without human touch and execute on it with the help of workflows that are backing it up. I think this was super beautiful. Can I ask some of you who are now listening to us very attentively to give us thumbs up in the chat so that we can hear that you would like to implement something like that in your customer service? At least I want to see a couple of thumb ups. So people are typing, I see. In the meantime, I wanted to comment that we have seen a use case in English. If you need to have this conversation and these AI agents to happen in your local language, you can actually do that. So there are no limitations on the language perspective if you don't want to use English, but want to use a different local language of your choice for that use case. I think that's super beautiful. So the third use case that we wanted to introduce you to today from the agentic AI is how we can work together with the sales team and service teams across to create maybe some of the upsell opportunities when we identify them in the customer service, and all that with the help of agentic AI. So now let's have a look at that third use case that we have prepared for you today.
Let's take a look at how ServiceNow's AI-powered CRM is helping companies like Electri build customers for life. Like for this game developer, who proactively gets an AI alert that his team is nearly out of credits, which could be a huge roadblock to their launch. But this customer strikes up a chat with an AI support agent. But this is so much more than just a chatbot. This is AI experience powered by a team of AI agents working together. The AI agents get to work to resolve this issue in real time, offering free credits through the end of the month, a solution that's already been approved by Electri's Service Playbook. But how did this happen? Behind the scenes, one AI agent reviews customer subscriptions, another evaluates support policies, and a third logs notes and communicates back through the chat, all guided by the AI agent orchestrator. Automating resolutions like this both improves customer satisfaction while also freeing up time to focus on more complex issues. ServiceNow's AI-powered CRM takes service even further. Noticing the customer's rapid growth, an AI agent suggests connecting with sales to explore the next level of subscription. Now, within minutes, the customer received the support they needed now and a plan to ensure long-term success. This isn't just everyday customer service. This is customer relationship management with the ServiceNow AI platform. Thanks to ServiceNow's new AI-powered CPQ, sales reps easily configure complex quotes with everything they need in one view: AI notifications, previous chat history, product usage, and in this case, the alert to build a new customized quote. Every step is simple for reps and guarantees quotes stay compliant, eliminating outdated spreadsheets and clunky software. Based on rep input and account profile, ServiceNow CPQ uses AI to guide the rep to the right solution, recommending the Pro Edition with added security and compliance. The customer reviews the quote and gets the approval to make the purchase, moving the deal from open to closed won, all in record time. That is how you build loyalty and turn customers into long-term advocates. Where legacy CRMs create friction, ServiceNow removes it. And the future of CRM is AI-powered, and it is here today.
Amazing. So wasn't that a beautiful use case of how you can make your customer service work for you and also create some opportunities for your sales teams at once? And that's all with agentic AI inside CRM. I think that was a beautiful example. So now we have given you some food for thought of how you can start working with agentic AI in CRM inside ServiceNow. This was just scratching the surface. So now I will head over to Sondre, who will give you some industry examples from the cloud people perspective, what they have experienced with their customers, and also go a little bit one step into the details of how you can get started with AI agents. Over to you, Sondre.
Thank you very much, Maria. So I really like these use cases, and I really think they just tell a little bit about what's actually possible. And now for the next, I'll go into a bit more into some of the use cases. We have 2 use cases today, where one of them I'll also deep dive into one of the agents. We'll also talk about what is inside of it and also the tools. And at the end, we'll look at how you can get started as well. All right. The first one is an agentic AI for a retail use case. And the fun about this one is I think everyone can recognize this one. I go to the supermarket, to a retail store, and I usually like to buy avocados because I like to make guacamole. Of course, it's always a gamble. But I buy avocado. I get home, it's moldy, or it's brown. It's not good. So I of course paid a lot of money for this avocado, so I want to get my money back. I go onto the website and say, of course, take a picture of my avocado. It's full of mold inside. It said it should be fine, so I want to get a compensation. This is, of course, on Sunday, and I don't expect anything to happen in a couple of days at least. So typically, maybe by Tuesday, I've gotten a reply back and my money is on the way. And of course, it's just for €5, but still, I want my money back. So this is typically how this would look in the background. So even though we then have from the first, I have now made a case. It comes to the service desk. I made it on Sunday, and they will start looking at the Monday. So typically, they review the case. They maybe categorize it. What type of reclamation is this? Then they go into, identifying the product, and so on and so on. But then a typical service desk agent does not necessarily have all the information in one system. They then want to verify, because how would they know if they have to check, right? Have I actually purchased the avocado, and within a certain time frame that I say I do. So they have to go to another system where I probably am a customer already. I have an app and I'm an identified customer, so they can look in and see, okay, I bought the avocados on Thursday. So within that time frame, it should be good. The next step, the fraud check. Of course, they want to check, have I sent a lot of, do I always get moldy avocados? Maybe not. So they check that it's also in the system. They look up, and this is actually inside of ServiceNow. So they will look up, but they still need to look into the database to check. Then, of course, they have now checked. It is verified. I have it. I am not trying to do any fraud. I just want my money back for my avocado. But how much should I get? Should I get extra? Should I get what's the compensation policy? And is that, if that's not in the knowledge base, then I probably have to go somewhere else to check it. Then I've got to switch view again to check, okay, what's the compensation? And I have to search for that myself and look through if I'm not a very seasoned agent and I know all this by on top of my head. And I assume not everyone is like that. And then, of course, I've checked, verified the purchase, fraud check is done. I have now seen, okay, it should be €5 that the compensation should be. Now it's time for the payment. I write back to the user as well, okay, this and this and this, but now I have to go get the payment. Maybe I have to go to a separate system, or I have to send the task forward to the payment team. And then it takes a long time. Every time we have to switch context, it takes a long time. Then we finally get the payment ready, say, okay, you will get it within the next 3 days, and then we're done. From end to end, it maybe takes 60 minutes to actually do this. And what we have not done is actually, we usually don't have the time to be proactive with this and actually looking at, okay, what was the problem to start with? Then, how could we use an agentic workflow and AI agents and connect the different tools to make this a bit more smooth? As you see, a very similar picture, but we just changed out the icons a bit. So now I'm on Sunday again, mold the avocado, take a picture, send it in, and I expect, of course, I don't expect anything to happen, but let's see. We then have an agentic AI or agentic use case, as Maria said, which then has an orchestrator with a lot of agents and a lot of tools. The first step, it reviews the case. Okay, what is it all about? Okay, it double checks, it's a reclamation case, it categorizes it automatically, and actually identifies the item because we have that data in the system. Next, it actually goes through and verifies that I actually have bought that avocado. Why can it? Because it has an integration to the system. It has a tool to integrate and check, okay, we have identified it's avocado. I know who the person is, so then I can easily do a quick search in another system. So me as a service desk agent don't have to do it. And then, of course, the fraud check. We can do that automatically as well. We can do a check. Okay, you have not done any other reclamation case the last 6 months. That should be good. Or maybe I have done 6 of them, and we want to have a human in the loop, as Maria showed earlier. That's also possible. That only a service desk agent had to do something if it hits a certain point. And today, we'll leave it as I haven't done anymore. I just want my avocado money back. Then we know AI is really good at understanding and reading text. So why not get that? We have a document that is well structured and we have the information on what is the compensations on certain items. So that can easily read and give us an answer on what is the compensation on that item. And that is €5. For example, if we really want to, in the payment method, we want to actually have a human in the loop as well. If it's less than €20, then we can automate it. But if it's more, then maybe we should have a human in the loop. And that's the part. We can then automate the payment method as well to go into the different systems. And then we can then, as a service desk agent or even automatically do the reply. Okay, so by the time I do on Sunday, if we totally automate this one, I could have an answer within 15 minutes from actually sending in a moldy avocado, that I now have information. Okay, €5 are then sent to your account. And then we haven't talked about the last bit, the proactive. What if you get 15 reclamation cases this week? Maybe you would like to actually to be a bit proactive and talk with the supplier. Maybe there's a problem with that supply. So now you actually have time for the service desk agent to then, with the use of an agentic AI recommending, I see a new trend, maybe you should go out and talk with the supplier to actually get that money back some other way. Hopefully this is recognizable by some of you, and you can also see here where you can then reuse a lot of the out-of-the-box agents, but we can then also use some of the ones we have. Now I would like to go into a bit more detail on one specific agent, because now you've seen an agentic use case that has a lot of agents in it and a lot of tools. So I want to explain a bit what is a worker agent and what is tools within one agent. So a typical agent has a task. It has primarily one task. It can have more, but typically you say you should do this specific. And this task agent I have done is you should verify the transaction information from the case. You then gather the information, you get the agent to get information, what item is it? Avocado. And you should check against the other system and again, check if it actually exists. In this case as well, we've given it two tasks. We also make it at the same time, double check, have you done this several times? Review if there's more reclamation cases you have created within the last 6 months. And again, if it's a duplicate, the orchestrator can then decide if we should then send approval to the service desk, or we just push it forward because there is no need, as this is the only reclamation case, for example, at the last 6 months. And that's important for you guys now to think, how does this match into your use cases? And then we come to the tools. I know you've created a lot of workflows, a lot of integration all across your ServiceNow. And again, these agents reuse those things. If you have a workflow, you can reuse that. And if you have some of these approval processes, we can reuse those. If you have an integration in the system, great. We can reuse that, or we can make a new one, or just make a new one identified. So there's endless tools and things you can actually get those worker agents to do. But hopefully this explains these are a one job per agent, even though you have an agentic use case that does a lot of things. But within an agent, you have a lot of instructions. You have a lot of tools, which you can then reuse on all the different agents as well. Then I would like to take a bit different use case, but you will then recognize a lot of the same things. Now I'm going to still things that are not great. I'm still a bit sad, and I think also most of you can probably recognize this one as well. If you ever lost a shipment, or you're just wanting to get the status of your shipment. So I am again, it's been 2 weeks. Where is my new iPhone 17, right? I don't know where it is. It's been 2 weeks. They said it should take only 1 week. Okay, I'm going to open a case with my old iPhone 11. Can't type on it anymore, but let's do it. All right, I open it up, make a case, say, where is my shipment? There should have been this and this, and send the order number with it. Instead of a typical service desk agent looking at it, we're now going directly to the agentic use case. We then see a lot of the same things at the start. We need something to review it, we need to categorize or triage, as Maria said earlier, and that's the part. And then maybe we can quickly solve this by just checking, okay, we have the order number, we have the item, we can then look into a different system where we actually track, and if we have the full control into one system, we can actually check where is the shipment. Then do a call to DHL and check where is the shipment. Maybe it's just delayed there, and we can answer that right away. Maybe we're done by that point. Or if we then check with DHL, or if we have to have a human in the loop, we can then forward say, okay, the shipment is actually lost. Then we can again do some verification for the purchase. We can do some fraud checks and have the human in the loop. We can then also reuse a lot of the detected compensation, or we can also then integrate this to other logic or product where we can actually do the payment, or even connect where we can then start shipping a new product directly. So in this use case, even though it's a lost shipment where you see it's a bit different use case, but you can still reuse a lot of the agents and the same tools potentially. And within a very short time, you can get, hopefully, a happy customer that now knows that it's just delayed and it will arrive on Tuesday next week.
Can I sign up for being that happy customer? Where should I buy those rotten avocados next time?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So hopefully some of you can recognize with this agentic, and the goal is for you to then start thinking, what are your rotten avocados? What are your lost shipments? And turning that into your own use cases. And while you do that, it's key. What kind of data do you want to access to receive these? Like I mentioned with the compensation, where is that information stored? Or what kind of product do you do where you have the information where you verify that they actually have bought a certain item, for example. And then as well, do you have a good inventory of all the integration you actually have set up? Because this is the really big thing when we think about connecting different systems and making maybe even agent to agent, where you can talk with agents in different systems. That is where I think at least the biggest values are when it comes to agentic AI. So go back home and ask yourself these questions. And of course, you might have 10, you might have 20 use cases. And I think it's really key to actually going in and looking what is actually giving you the business impact. Is it even feasible? And even though you might want to, it has a high business impact, it might be really hard at this point. Or we have to look at, okay, what's needed to actually receive that? And of course, who are the most important people that you want to serve right now? Even though you might have to prioritize, doesn't mean you don't have to do all of them, but it's key to also, in this limited time and limited availability, and you want to move fast, you have to prioritize. All right, that was a lot of information, both from you, Maria, where you talked about the out-of-the-box agents, right?
Yes.
And I think the key ones, if you could tell us, what were the 3 ones again?
So the ones that we have shown today was case triaging, where the AI agents can solve your human agent, can help your human agents solve cases faster with some human in the loop or without. It's up to you to decide. We have also looked into the voice AI agents, and I have highlighted that you can start already leveraging them in your own language, on your preferred language. And last but not least, we have seen at the Customer 360 view, where you can make your customer service at the forefront and also drive some sales when you see some upsell opportunities when you're talking to the customer. And that all driven, again, by agentic AI inside ServiceNow. So these were the main use cases that we have showcased from our perspective, because we see a lot of value in those. but the list was not full. So just go ahead and explore some of the standard use cases. As Sundre said, think about what you can do on your side and what makes sense. Do the prioritization, and we will hopefully help your customer service. We'll help your sales teams really save a lot of time and get your customers super happy.
Exactly. So that use what is already inside of ServiceNow, make it your own, change it up, but also look at your data, right? It's what integration do you have? What kind of data can actually the agent use to build the agentic workflows? And if you start creating one, you will then can reuse that again and again in new agentic or use cases. And of course, it's key. Start now defining actually your use cases, because you are the ones that will know best your business. Partners like us, the cloud people, can of course help you, but it's you who know your business that actually can identify the ones that will have the highest business impact. All right, that was the main talking points today. Then we have we made it in time for a small Q&A if there's any questions. All right, but then no more questions so far. So then I thank you everyone for taking the time, and sorry for the technicalities. Hopefully you got value out of it, and now you can start making your own agentic use cases.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.